This is the entryway to Fort Tryon Park. You can see how it's a very nice entryway. A lot of space. This is very popular in Manhattan. And it has a great view of the Hudson River. And we'll be going in this way here. This is the beautiful view from Fort Tryon Park, right next to the park entrance. You can see here, there is a park cottage that's right over here, that where people who take care of the park sometimes reside. And that's the area that we were just at, the entryway. But it's a very nice arrangement here. Very old park. It's John D. Rockefeller, the oil baron, actually helped to create this park. And the Cloisters, which is a monastery that was transported from Europe stone by stone and was put here for the benefit of all the people. It's actually part of the Metropolitan Museum of Art on 82nd Street and 5th Avenue. But this is one of those locations that's so ideal for people to go and visit because it's idyllic almost, where people can come here and say, you know, it's nice to be in Manhattan, but at the same time, very far away from the crowds and everything. And the George Washington Bridge is maybe about 500 feet to the south or to the left of where we are right now. And but it's an ideal location, unchanged, you know, since it was founded. And it's one of those great places for New Yorkers to be. This is looking south from Fort Tryon Park, down Fort Washington. This is one of the entryways into the park. We're gonna now enter the park, and this I'm just showing the whole world what it looks like around the park. And we're gonna go down the path just for a little ways, just so that people can see what it looks like. It's such an ideal place to be. Now, every year they have a Renaissance festival here too, where people like to imagine what it was like 1,000 years ago in medieval Europe. People will be dressed up in their various costumes as if they were from the Renaissance. It's a great little event, and there are actually people who have swords. Of course, having a sword in New York is illegal, but at that time, it is allowed because it's for a purpose of the festival. You can see here all the various pathways. And for many people, it's just such a great thing to do, just to go around, to walk around. And just like in Central Park, this is one of those parks that allow people to sit back and enjoy nature, just to have a cost-free weekend in New York. And believe it or not, there are some very smart people who realize that having fun in New York is not about spending $500 on a weekend. It could also be about just sitting around and enjoying your day. You can see here other parts of the park bordering on the Hudson River. And we're on our way to the Cloisters, which is the medieval monastery, but we're taking a little side trips just to see what the entire Fort Tryon Park is like. Now, we're a little bit closer to the river from where we were, and in the distance you can just see the George Washington Bridge above the treetops. And I'll just kind of make it a little bit bigger. There's the George Washington Bridge. So we're not really that far away from the George Washington Bridge, and beautiful buildings are going up, and it's going to be like a Manhattan North in Fort Lee, New Jersey. That's approximately where those tall buildings are, because all of a sudden it was discovered that they have great views from there, though people have known that for many, many years. You can see here people just enjoying the sun, just enjoying being around here, and what a great little walkway that people have over there. And this is some of the other trails. Where we were was just above here. and like you can see the people walking. That's where we were, and people enjoy like that trail. But you can see here the sign, the Cloisters lawn. So it's great the way they take such good care of the park, and they do it because it's part of the park system, and it's one of the more ideal parks in the city. And here we are a little bit closer to the river again. This is just to have a better perspective of what everything is like in the park. You can see the park there, and the beautiful walkway that we have here, just to go around to see everything, and the people just enjoying it. And that's where we were, right up there. But it's really nice. I'm really showing people what it's like so that when they're in New York, they might have a chance to see the Cloisters, they might have a chance to visit Fort Tryon Park. Always when you're in a city, there's so many things to be done that you might not be aware of it. And sometimes it's very helpful when someone points out the various events and various things that can be done in a city. So here we have a more ideal view of the city, and you can here we have a more ideal view of the Hudson from Tryon Park, and in the distance we have a bunch of tourists. I don't know who they are. Tourists taking a good view of the park too and the city. But you can see here, beautiful view from the park. This is what people would really love. Now, wouldn't it be ideal if someone could have a private home here? Of course, it would be a very, very expensive private home. I don't think it would last too long because someone would decide that they could sell the land, make more money than just maintaining a private home. So that's where we were before, where you could see the sign where it says Cloisters. And then a little bit beyond that is another trail that's more the main trail for everyone. But again, this is all designed so that the citizens and residents and visitors of New York can enjoy themselves in nature. Because one thing that people learn very quickly in New York is everything is covered by concrete. So you appreciate more the park space, the open area where you can actually go out and walk around and see what things are like, and actually be part of the island, be part of the city in a different way. Because usually people are extremely busy with their work and they have no time to enjoy nature at all. They go from home in their apartment building to work and then back home. So sometimes reconnecting with nature this way can be a very nice thing to do too. So we'll take a closer look at some of the developments on the other side. You can see that building in the distance is called the Modern, the one that's completed. And they're creating a twin structure right like that. Now, for many people that are going to live there, it's going to be ideal living there with a beautiful Manhattan view that will be around for a long, long time. Well, at least until some other developer decides they're going to put up another 40-story building right next to someone and the view will disappear. Another beautiful view of one of the side trails in Fort Tryon Park. You can see really well done, something that had a lot of thought put into it also, and something idyllic where if it's a beautiful day like today, 75 degrees, not too hot, not too cold, you'll have people just strolling through this park just to see what things are like. So now we're more along the main trail going to the Cloisters, but I'm just taking this view so that everyone can see how well maintained this park is and how they go out of their way to make sure everything is really beautiful for people. It's like almost a country estate that someone has spent a lot of money on. But here, it's the people's country estate, where someone could come here on a weekend, carefree, not worrying about how it was maintained, not worrying about how much it's going to cost, and as I said before, completely free. So in New York, that's one of those ideal things, to have something for free, because not much is for free in New York. And from here, along the same trail, we can see the beautiful Hudson River, everything well maintained, and cherry blossoms. People go to Washington, D.C. just to view those cherry blossoms. And here, we can see them without paying for a trip to Washington. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful tree, beautiful environment, just wonderful.